Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hot Car Podcast, where we engage in insightful conversations with people of all kinds. Today we have the pleasure of interviewing returning champion, the brilliant Miki Rogers. Join us as we explore the realms of psychology, yoga, science, theology, humanistic philosophies, magic, rocks, herbology in the context of unconventional relationships.
Felt like I missed the first one.
Well, it's happened again.
This happened on Tuesday, and we know it was really hot that day. Hot car. Joining us live in the Alert Center.
How long did you last in a hot car?
Facts that the heat index that day was 105 degrees.
We don't yet know about a potential third suspect who was seen speeding away from federal agents at the scene. The whole thing had been a mystery to neighbors.
This is not an accident. This is pure negligence.
You know, it's bound to happen. I mean, that's just the kind of the way it goes. I've already done a little intro before I called. I called you the two-time returning champion, the brilliant Miki Rogers.
Yeah.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, that's me.
I mean, who else would it be? So,
As I heard you.
I had a very, I think I had a very, very cool conversation with Sean Hicks yesterday, Tibetan Buddhist acolyte, about a lot of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. I guess really, like, the takeaway from all that was kind of don't worry, you're on the right path whether you know it or not.
Yeah, the all paths are the right path mindset. I like that.
Well, not necessarily, but with a little like discernment, you can kind of tell, you know, if you are indeed on the so-called right path. We kind of already, like, intuitively know in a lot of ways, I think.
Yeah.
And that's not to say we delude ourselves at times, or get convinced or whatever. I don't necessarily want to go down that path necessarily, talking about, you know, that kind of negative influence that other people can have on us to...
Oh, well, we all know that. As adults, every single adult in the world knows that other people can have a negative influence on us.
Yeah, but we often pretend that that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's apparent. You just, like, turn on the news. Please don't turn on the news. But I mean, you just look at any major media stories, and it's just complete and utter insanity. Like, every time, every story, because it's either not enough information, or the story itself is something that probably shouldn't even be published.
Oh, I think there's a lot of things that we could talk about there. I could touch on so many topics, like the fact that everything in the news is negative because of a very specific reason in our society, or everything in the news is either wrong, not fact-checked, or severely opinionated because of how our society is set up. It's all like...
Yeah, right, and I think that would be interesting to kind of just, what I've done, just because I didn't necessarily, I liked the ideas that we kind of drew out and spoke about, like, talking, but a lot of that stuff to me, like actually the thing that I kind of introduced you as going to talk about, and we can talk about some of this stuff, but in my intro before you got on, I said that we're going to talk about, like, this is wild, psychology, yoga, science, theology, humanistic philosophies, magic with a K, rocks, herbology, in the context of unconventional relationships. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot. Now, I think that, we can certainly tie all of that, because that's kind of what the world presents to us in a lot of ways, all of those things, in the context of the news. Like, I pulled up, what is it? Microsoft News, right on my browser. And I'm just going to look at these stories and just comment on them and see if what we're talking about kind of applies. Should that be like what? I don't know. It's interesting to me. I'll just put it that way, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see what we got, because weird news is always entertaining to me. I mean, I have a favorite.
I like weird news.
I have a favorite YouTube podcast show called Weekly Weird News.
Cool.
It's just two guys standing up for 45 minutes, basically
sharing weird shit. Yep.
Basically reading headlines that they're on camera, and then they'll talk about the weird story and riff on that, and then throw up like screenshots of like the news stories and comment on that kind of stuff. That's really, it's fun, because you get stories like last year when the orcas were attacking boats. I mean, that
was awesome.
Between Spain and Morocco. That's great.
Nature's taking it back.
And these other like whales were coming from elsewhere and then learning the stuff and going back and doing the same thing in other places.
Destroying more boats.
Yes, and they're still up to it too. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
I think so. So that's what I mean. You find out these really amazing stories by watching. Like, I don't know, they're a huge channel. I mean, it's ridiculous. We have dozens of people listening at best, and these folks have like hundreds of thousands of viewers in a matter of a couple of hours.
Yeah, it's crazy pants.
It's really crazy. I mean, this makes you wonder, like, how is that possible? Obviously a lot of these programs are hooked up with big networks. That if you get big enough on your channel, you'll be offered these deals to sign up, like basically with an agency.
Yep.
And so that's part of it. They have a huge reach, and all it takes is 30 seconds of viewing to count as a view.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Or a click these days, really.
Right. I think Twitter counts a view as within like 2 seconds.
So I don't even have a Twitter. I don't know how Twitter works. I struggle with Instagram. Facebook is really the only one that I get. Like,
right. Well, I'm
only 35. Like, I feel like I'm not really that old, but I don't understand the other ones. The other ones don't make sense to me.
Well, at this point, Facebook is the OG. They've been around since 2007.
I remember MySpace, man.
Right.
I miss MySpace days. Let's go back to that.
So check this out. I didn't realize this. MySpace only lasted about 4 years.
Yep.
And that was incredible.
But it was some of the, like, for me, for my age group, it was 4 of the most formative years of our lives, which is why we remember it so much. I would have been maybe in between 12 and 16.
Right. So this is interesting, because I was your age back then.
You were in your 30s?
I was, 2004, I was 34.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy. I'm an eternal teenager, though. That's fine. Like,
Me too.
I don't
cool.
know how to I don't know how to be
16.
old. I don't know how to be any age. I was 27 for a very long time. Just in my head. Like, I just felt like, okay, that's my age. Like,
Yep. I never thought I'd make it past 27, so we're good.
well, I had a big fear of 33, not for the obvious reasons. Like, 33, like, because there's only, like, one really important guy in the 33 club. There's only one. The 27 club is, like, filled with all kinds of interesting people. But the 33 club, like, unfortunately, included my dad, who was killed when I was 9. A drunk driver killed him.
Very sorry.
Yeah, it was obviously life-changing. But then I had this, like, big fear about that age. And
I would, yeah. Absolutely. That's very marking.
then I found myself driving across the country at 33, feeling like from like Oregon to Texas, like
It's a whole new life.
like a 2.5 day drive,
You're like a brand new baby.
feeling very weird.
Yep.
But that's I can't really get into that. That gets very personal. But let's just say it was a very emotional drive.
I can imagine.
So with that happy note, let's look at some news.
Weird news.
No, my biological daughter just turned 23 the other day.
Oh, nice.
Part of the reason I'll just finish the story because I think it's important because it serves a purpose. So I was driving across the country from Oregon to Texas to go rejoin my family, my girlfriend, our daughter, and her son. Because I had lost my job in Oregon, a very high-paying job, big responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Lost my job because it's very ironic. I lost my job because I stopped smoking marijuana. Told somebody I had stopped smoking marijuana. Was brought into my boss's office.
You smoked weed? How dare you?
I was asked. This was like 45 days
Sober?
at the because this came along a month and a half later.
Okay.
Brought into the office.
Stigma.
Was asked. I'm super honest. So I said, yeah, but I haven't been doing that for a long time. They said, okay, we need to UAU. Fine. Passed. They said, okay, we have to suspend you now. I said, I don't know. What?
Why? Like,
And
if I'm
then-
clean.
Okay, so my boss had tears in her eyes. And then she left the room. Her boss leaned over and said, you should have just lied to us. And I said, well, how about, I was manager at a staffing agency that helped people with disabilities. And one of the qualifying disabilities was drug and alcohol recovery. I got to know a lot of, my employees that I put out on assignment fairly well. I worked there for like 3.5 years. And it was like an employment specialist, just handling like 300 employees out on temporary assignments.
Yeah.
And then, when these people all the priority was legally that we could help people with disabilities first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And we had contracts with the state of Oregon, and they were required to try us first before a regular staffing agency. That's what we got offered. Like, if we couldn't fill the contract, then of course it can move on, but they had to ask us first. So it was really good.
Yeah, I love the places like that.
Right. So yeah, I shared this with somebody who was also quote unquote in recovery personally. Granted, it was like someone under my supervision, but he told on me. I told the truth. I got fired. I had to take an $8 an hour telemarketing job. I couldn't sustain the household anymore, or my income. So, my girlfriend's mom in Texas spent $10,000 to move the entire household and that part and the rest, 3 of the other family members, to Texas, set them up in an apartment, get them a car, and start over.
Yeah.
My job was to clean up, like the rental agreement, all that stuff, save up money to move.
Yeah. Hard choice.
It took 6 months. And by the time I took off and got there, things had really changed entirely as far as the relationship was concerned, and I lasted 3 months and left.
That's
back. I went back.
Oh, and went all the way back. Damn.
Went all the way back to Oregon. It was rough. And I had very limited contact with my daughter for a long time. And a few years ago, she was just turning 18. She reached out to me and said, I don't really even know you. I haven't heard anything bad about you, but I just don't know you. And so we then were able to kind of reestablish a relationship, because I made the decision to leave the family. She was still like 2.5.
Baby. Yeah.
Still a baby. And, a lot of, these are those hard choices, that I was talking about earlier, and it really, again, kind of ties back into this whole idea of going back to just a moment to TTI stuff, is that, look, if you have a troubled family or what situation, it's better if you leave. It's way better than you try to move your kid somewhere. You leave.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. That's way better.
Yep.
I mean, that wasn't an option that was presented to me in any fashion anyway, but what if I had stuck around and, I was the type of person who held these weird resentments, but stayed, because that happens too, and then, then became the type of person who said, I'm gonna do something like that, because those kinds of situations also, can turn into those kinds of shared resentments between parents, can manifest into really bad treatment of the kids.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, and that's, maybe not even consciously at the time, but by me deciding to move, I certainly avoided that. Even if the other challenges were seem even more difficult because of having to do that, to feeling like you've abandoned people.
Yeah.
But basically, all is essentially forgiven. There was no, separation is always really difficult, but it's not, it's never about in my case, I can say that
you guys are healing.
Well, and nobody ever intended anybody any intentional harm.
Yeah.
Too, and that's important. It just, it was just one of those things. It wasn't super dramatic. The relationship had just fizzled, and it was so unfortunate because later on I did stay together for the kids. It became a single parent and did 2-parent household. So I did that version too.
That happens.
I was afraid to leave in a certain way with that situation. I was so concerned about the children, that my stepkids, that I was super reluctant to leave, and that was the wrong. Ultimately, that really was the wrong choice for me. I should not have stayed. And that's interesting too.
That does happen.
I ended up in battered men's shelter at the end of that one for 2 weeks.
Well, I'm glad you got shaved.
Yeah. That life-changing. And it bounced from there to, and this is so funny, I'm just telling a little bits of my life story.
Mm-hmm.
So I bounced from there to living in Venice Beach for a number of years, like on the beach as a busking, bohemian, painting guy with a huge group of like artist friends who also lived on the beach. Not exactly your typical version of a homeless group or homeless people. Very interesting.
There's lots of different types of homeless.
Yeah, this was all for the most part. Most of these people, including myself, were making a very conscious decision to live there.
Choosing to live in a commune on the beach is not out of my idea of the relative norm for bohemian hippie lifestyles of your age group. I'm not surprised at all.
Now, this was fairly recently too. This was like this was like 2014 to 2017.
0% surprised.
And
I'm from Santa Cruz, California, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot you can say that would shock me.
So that's interesting. Santa Cruz is interesting. I have a great story about Santa Cruz, but
a lot of people do.
This involves an NA meeting.
Oh no!
Yeah, and
at least you said great story.
And playing music, and spending the night at someone's house because I was on tour. I toured and made sure that there were meetings near everywhere I was. I was on that trip.
Good for you.
And I just threw caution to the wind and figured, okay, I'm from out of town. Meeting goers love out of towners. Also, I'm playing music in town. Also, I need a place to stay.
Oh, that would have been the easiest. You literally named the easiest things to do in Santa Cruz. That was not difficult. Like, you play music? Okay.
Right. So it's cool. The Venice experience is really super amazing, and several people, and I would include myself in that bunch. Have kind of launched out of or from the boardwalk. I mean, we realized and we're told, all the time, and we kind of reinforced that the Venice Beach Boardwalk was like the number 2 tourist attraction in Southern California, just behind Disneyland. Like there were that many people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you're on this world stage,
it's beautiful,
playing for dollars, and one of my really good friends out there is now like basically a folk superstar.
How cool! Good for them.
Yeah, her name is Sydney Ward is her name, and her stage name is Sunny Ward. Definitely worth checking out. She's awesome.
That's super cool. I'll write that down.
Yeah. I wouldn't trade those experiences for anything. At a certain point, I got pretty lost out there, and then got brutally attacked. So that wasn't really great. But then that was also kind of an interesting lesson, having your face caved in by a crazy person.
Yep.
From behind.
Yikes. That sucks.
Sitting cross-legged on the ground with a hoodie on. This guy was like a friend, kind of annoying friend of the group, and he just. It's one of those situations. If you've ever had like an angry friend who's always mad at the world and other people.
Yep.
And then one day, for whatever reason,
tend not to be my friend for long.
They turn it on you.
Nope.
It's like, oh no. And it's such a huge red flag. Like people who are kind of generally angry at the world and other people, like, pretty constantly, but they like you. Be very careful.
I don't do that.
Oh.
I don't really keep angry people around though.
No, and this was like, kind of a hanger-on in this group. People knew he was annoying, told him so. He'd get into,
but no one ever really, like, kicked him out.
He'd get into, like, some yelling, conflict kind of stuff. No one really kicked him out. Everyone kind of put up with it.
Yeah.
I was friendly to this guy. And he, one day, he just was mad. He was mad because the night before, I had offered him, like, beer, and he wanted to pay for it. And I told him he didn't need to. And he got mad about that. And,
cool.
And then came back the next morning, I guess still drunk, because he took it. And then he was mad, and then punched me in the face really hard and broke my jaw in 3 places.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the end of an era.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, like
Decisively.
it really was. That guy, he ended up hitting some German tourist with a stick or something, and then the classic move, the guy ran into the ocean to avoid the police.
Why?
You ever seen that one? You ever seen that move?
Yeah, I always ask why.
Like, no, so they're just standing there waiting. Like, okay.
Yeah. Like, where are you gonna go?
You're not going anywhere. It's so funny. But,
like, how far are you gonna swim? They're just gonna follow you down the coast, bro.
Exactly. But, I guess, with all
Freedom!
that...
Yeah.
With all that being...
You're crazy, you're crazy. Like,
with all that being said, everything pretty much worked out okay. We're all still walking and talking.
That's good.
No, it's I guess it's supposed to be inspirational, and saying, look, you can go through all kinds of crazy shit and come out okay.
And still make a wonderful life for yourself.
That's right. Exactly.
Yep.
All right. To the news.
To the news!
Okay, what do we have here? See, it's it. I'm looking and I'm not even finding anything that's barely worth reading. Okay.
Nothing weird today.
Oh, okay. Eminem is giving the 49ers fans the double bird
Cool. Why?
before the Lions blew a 17-point lead.
Oh.
Oh, see, he was okay. Eminem,
He's a Lions fan.
He called it well, of course, he's from Detroit.
I wouldn't know. I don't.
Well, okay. Well, he's from Detroit, 8 Mile in Detroit. It's
Yeah,
okay. You don't have to know that.
That's
It's
great.
fine.
Okay.
It's all right.
He could have been Chicago for all I know. Like,
It might have. You find out it was filmed in some LA backlot or something.
right? I bet it was.
Right. So, oh man, he was.
Please,
Oh
please,
boy.
Eminem, don't hear this and then come after me. I had the album when I was a kid. Like, he's great and all that. I had no idea where it was.
He's gonna make a diss rap about you.
I know. Oh, that would be the most amazing. Anyway,
Wouldn't that be funny? It's like
that would be great. I would cherish it
just
forever.
randomly, through some weird network, the 6 degrees,
Yep.
that's real. We're all very, very closely connected, and
Yeah, we are.
and we don't really realize that, but it's probably closer to 5. Often it's 3 to 4 degrees that we're really connected to the people that we think we want to know, I guess, with some of that, right? Like Eminem, like nobody knows that guy. He's flipping off the 49ers fans, I see. Yes.
Yeah, he's a Lions fan. He's flipping off the 49ers.
But that's
And he called
that's
it
news,
too
though.
early.
But
And
it's news, though.
how is that news? He's a rapper. He flips people off all the time.
It's news. Someone took
He
a
has said some shit that is way worse.
Well, someone did take the photo, so I mean I guess that's pretty newsworthy. How often do you get Eminem flipping you off, though? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
I mean, that would be-
that's something that you want to keep forever.
Are
Like,
you
you
kidding
did that to me, yay!
So, that's a challenge. Okay. Ready, people out there? Here's your challenge.
Get Eminem to flip you off.
Get as many, celebrities or famous people. They have to be well known. You can't just get your friends to do it. That doesn't count. To take pictures of them until they flip you off.
Nice.
Be careful if you try to get Kanye or something.
Don't go into their private lives or don't be stupid about it.
Okay. I take the offer back.
Yeah.
I'm taking it back.
A lot of people out there are gonna do some dumb shit.
See, I don't want to be responsible for that. But I just think it's funny. I mean,
the Hot Car Podcast told me to do it, and their word is law.
There is I guess there is a trade-off for being in the public eye.
Right.
But it's still not fair. You can't.
Stuff you can't say.
I came up with a dumb game show idea years ago called It's called iPaparazzi.
How fun!
And the deal is, you have contestants, and you gear them up with, cameras, photography equipment. Teach them how to use it. High-end gear, or what do they call it? Like professional home. Cameras.
Theater equipment.
Right. Just easy enough to operate for a layman.
Yeah.
And then you take D-list celebrities, Z-list celebrities, bottom of the barrel, but well-known people who would be recognizable in public. Those types, like Machine Gun Kelly, for instance. I don't know who else. Someone, people who are, you could go big time stars, but they probably wouldn't do it. So you get a Real Housewife,
Yeah.
So
the people in the TV shows, we don't know their names, but we see them all the time.
Exactly. So then you get them all together. So basically you have the celebrities and then you have the contestants, and you pick a town, a party town, a place in America, and you plant them in the same town. Then you have the celebrities go about the town doing stuff. And I don't know what they're doing. They're doing stuff, and they're being recognized, and people are seeing them. The contestants are to act as paparazzi and try to get as many compromising or sketchy or interesting shots and videos of the celebrities.
It's like Pokemon Snap, but for celebrities.
Right. So the idea is that you also have plants in the town that maybe try to seduce celebrity or get mad at somebody. Maybe it's all semi-scripted.
How fun!
Right, and the contestants, they don't know anything. They're just in the town, and they have to scope out and find these people and what they're doing. They're at the club, or they're doing this, and they have to go get evidence.
Take as many pictures of Keanu Reeves as you can until the contest ends, and the person with the most compromising photo of Keanu Reeves wins.
I think
he doesn't do anything compromising.
I think it's a fun idea.
That's a great idea.
I have another game show idea called The World's Best Drunk Driver.
Oh no.
Where there's a foam maze. It's a giant foam maze, and the set basically is a bar with a go-kart track with these giant foam barriers, and you're driving around in these little go-karts drunk, having to navigate the course.
Yes.
But if you run into anything, you're fine.
It's like
you're
Mario
fine.
Kart.
You're not going faster than 10 miles an hour anyway. And the other thing is if you run into anything, you're just going to bounce right off it.
Drunk bumper cars.
Basically.
That sounds awesome.
It could, and it could be more. I thought it would be more of a single car course, but because of the aggression possibilities, but that could be fun if there was a race. Well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just more logistically challenging for a race, but
Just make them like really big foam pedal cars.
oh, if they're just human powered, for sure, yeah, rather than having a motor.
Yep,
I like that too. So those are my two ideas.
I like that. That's great. Those are great.
And see, that was just based on reading that dumb news story. There you go. That's how these things flow on the Hot Car Podcast. And it was so funny that you said you were going through your car earlier. Are you recording from your car? Car?
Oh yeah.
That might be a first, actually. I think.
Really? For the Hot Car Podcast?
It could be. I never really ask about where people are talking from much.
I have heated seats and I'm so comfy. No one else can hear me. I do therapy in my car. I can do like anything in my car.
Right. No, that's important, especially if you're like having not just a phone conversation, but a phone conversation that is intended for other people to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, distractions can be like really super distracting in those cases.
Yep. I'm so comfy in my car though. I've lived out of it. Like I go camping in my car all the time.
Right on.
Yeah, it's just natural for me to like, I'm going to go to my car and have a phone call. Everybody's like, yep, sounds like Miki.
I tried van life for a while.
I have not been able to do that yet. I have done car life, but I've never actually had a van, so it's a little different.
Yeah, definitely different. I used to have a plan to like live, traveling outside kind of life. And it works pretty well. You just have to like set up a few things, like get a student card at if you're near a community college, enroll in like without classes or anything, and get a student card so you can use all the facilities, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have most cities now have YMCA's. If you get a YMCA membership.
Yeah, that too.
And a lot of cities, like if you do it in the month of January, literally almost every city will have a month where membership is free.
Yeah,
and I guarantee you, every major city has a YMCA. Like you will not be far from one.
Oh no, my everyone, the other 3 people in my household go.
I go to the Y. I love the Y.
Very nice. I don't. But that's okay.
That's fine.
No, I'm not. I'm not shaming myself. It's just not for me. But that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Not everybody likes the gym.
Okay.
I do a lot of yoga.
Right. I do a lot of.
Not everybody does the Christian organization thing. That's cool too. I'm like, I don't particularly care.
Yeah, that's true. I do a lot of walking. That's really good. I think.
Walking is so good for you.
If you can do it.
Yep.
My girlfriend needs her knees replaced, so that's exciting. That's going to happen probably in the next 6 months. Very cool.
Recovery from that is supposed to be significantly faster these days. So
yeah,
prayers for a speedy recovery.
She had bariatric surgery in July. So that's been 7 months. She's lost over 100 pounds already. It's incredible.
That is amazing. I'm so proud of her. Congratulations.
Yes. And I never give a shout out to Julie. So, hi, Julie. I love you. And there you go. Yay. She doesn't. She does not listen to my podcast. Believe me. She hears enough of me already. Hold on. I need to let the cat out. Hold on.
I wouldn't watch my husband's painting videos.
Right. So
I see him paint enough. I've watched you do enough, so you're good.
Right. So when I was a teenager, for about 6 months, I had a letter correspondence with Prince.
How cool!
It was super cool, and because I asked him about some production stuff on a record, and he wrote me back with all this interesting advice about performing and stuff, and the few things that he said, I couldn't even talk about this until he passed away. It was like, you were not allowed to discuss anything at all regarding anything that guy told you.
Yeah.
Right.
Very private.
At one point, I mediated a feud between Apollonia and his wife, Mai Tai. This was after he passed away, and it was about one of the parties. I'm not going to say who was, auctioning his stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just so weird. I don't know how I
That's
kind
so
of fell
funny.
into this like sort of outer inner circle with these people. Really,
That's awesome.
really cool. All very nice people. But one of the things that he said was always, be different. Don't worry about if you're good or bad at whatever it is you're doing, but just try to be different from how other people do that thing. And never dress like your audience.
Yeah.
Right, that's a cool one. Like, okay. And what was the thing about performing? I lost my train of thought about why I brought that up. What were you just talking about?
We started talking about Prince?
Oh my gosh! See now we're lost.
We both lost it.
We're lost in the purple rain.
Purple rain.
We're lost. Oh wow, that's crazy. So, what was I saying? I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, so hey, breaking news. Fox News, breaking news. Car thieves, heroin-fueled joyride comes to a screeching halt with the help of two armed homeowners.
Okay.
Okay.
Good job, homeowners. Stop those heroin-fueled car thieves.
Okay, these guys are accused of stealing the car, and then they were in a police chase. Then they were apprehended when two separate armed homeowners confronted the men and held them at gunpoint.
Nice.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Nice. Good job, homeowners.
I think so. That's interesting. So so the police went on the chase, and then they ended. Interesting. So the guys were stealing the car, and the police were chasing them. Look at that. Okay. So the police were chasing him. The guy stopped the car. They both ran in different directions and both got confronted separately by two armed homeowners who were like freeze in two different houses. That's
awesome.
What
state was this?
See, that's pretty good. Man, you don't hear about that very often. These guys, they held their fire and were cool. The dumb guys, the heroin joyriders, it was over. But they didn't die, which is great.
Where was this?
Illinois.
Nice.
Yes.
Good job.
Macon County Sheriff and seeing that. Yeah, all right. Okay. There you go.
Nothing super weird today, though.
I mean, that's. I don't know why I'm seeing that news in particular. That's because that's the other thing. Like, why in the world would I be fed that? I read it.
I cannot speak to algorithms. I have no idea how algorithms work.
But I mean, it is interesting when you pull up just the regular browser and you got the news thing. That's not. I don't suspect giving me stuff that I want to see, because it's never stuff that I want to see on that. I like the news.
Maybe it's
the news
a preset web page. I have no idea. No idea how that works.
Yeah, because it's just a scattering of everything in a way. I mean, it got like Comic-Con, Pasadena Comic-Con photos. You got
How fun! Comic-Con's awesome.
I got a bunch of MMA stuff. I don't know.
Weird.
I'm not really. Well, I don't watch that, but it's all over the place. Yeah, I don't know.
Talking about fighting.
I mean, I wrestled in high school. That was cool. I don't mind fighting, but
I wrestled in middle school.
Yeah.
A little small to wrestle in high school.
yeah. Oh. Well. Oh, here's some news. Fox News. Again? I mean, they had the most weird news, maybe, because it was the heroin joyriders, and now trans woman shares her dating hardships. And then the quote is, men nowadays are expecting princess treatment. My goodness. Is that how men are being now?
Interesting.
Are we expecting treatment, princess ladies? I don't know.
I don't
know.
understand. I would like to read that one.
Okay. Well,
They can't be chivalrous because we're women and we can take care of ourselves, but also they can't be simpy because then they just want princess treatment. I don't understand.
well, maybe we can pick it up here. Hold on the audio. We can try to play it, the video. I think it should pick up. Hold on. Let's see. All right. It's not a story. It's a news clip. So here we go. Let's see.
I understand that, like, to society, I guess, to, like, the male gaze, if you want to call it, or whatever it is, I know I'm not a 10. I know that I'm plus size, I know that there's so many other things wrong with me, blah, 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 etc., the list goes on. However, I carry myself, and with such grace, and light, and with politeness, and I know what I bring to the table. I feel...
Well, okay. It paused there for a second. I don't know why, but she knows what she brings to the table. Okay, we got it. Okay. No.
I know what I bring to the table.
Okay.
I feel...
Oh. She feels? She says, I feel like we live in a very sensitive society. That's it. Okay. This is interesting. Is this one of those, like, I'm an anti-trans person?
I hope not. That has happened.
I'm suspecting. I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just suspecting this might be that just because of where it's coming from. You know?
Yeah.
I never thought of as Fox News Digital to be a big trans rights supporter.
Me either.
Yeah, so that's interesting. But the video won't keep playing. Maybe someone up top said, hold on a second, folks.
It's got a buffer.
We can't play this on Fox News Digital. It's going to send the wrong message. And maybe, it was a positive message, and they said, hold on, cut that. Cut it.
I don't belong here.
Gone too far.
Get that crap out of here.
That's what they say. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think we're, I don't know. Anything on your minds?
Nothing in particular. I'm super enjoying the sunshine, though, right now.
Oh, is it sunny where you're at?
Yeah, finally, after, weeks of freezing cold, it's, in the 60s right now, and it's nice and bright and sunny, and I'm loving it.
I think we're getting the same weather. We've been having good weather for the last 3 days.
Yeah, I'm so happy. Yesterday was our first day of sunshine, and I feel like my mood immediately improved.
Right?
I like the rain, but I can't handle, weeks of constant gray. It's just...
Yeah, it's been weeks.
Yeah.
And last year was a different story. I knew that was going to happen, I think, with El Nino out in the Pacific, that cold water.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's, this is going to be a wild year, Miki. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, wow. I think more than, we say that every year, but I think this one really counts. My goodness. There's just too much.
Too much going on?
There's too much going on. But then you have to wonder, well, how much of all that is quote unquote going on really, really, really going to affect anything in your life, unless you kind of let it.
That is fair.
Yeah, maybe that's the question to leave on. Just kind of ponder that, oh my gosh, all of the stuff, this and the Israeli thing and the Taylor Swifts and, Trump and the weather. I mean, the weather, see, out of all that big list, what affects you the most? Well, the weather.
The weather.
Right, stuff like that. Everything else is like a name drop. And then you're like, so? Yeah, okay. You make a weird derp face. Oh.
Derp.
Yeah.
It's important to remember that, yes, there is a whole wide globe out there, but will all of that globe specifically affect you? Is it beneficial to worry about the globe, or just know that the globe is there and worry about your own damn self?
Right. I'm no Jordan Peterson fan, but sincerely, clean up your room first.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. So I guess that's about it.
And we know it was really hot that day. Hot. Joining us live in the Alert Center.
How long did you last in hot car?
Facts that the heat index that day was 105 degrees.
We don't yet know about a potential third suspect who was seen speeding away from federal agents at the scene. The whole thing had been a mystery to neighbors.
This is not an accident. This is pure negligence.